You're watching the CWPA broadcast brought to you by Cap 7.
Don't give it to me easy, I like a little challenge. When it feels better when you take a little damage. Slow, learning fast, earning stay, burning wheels, turning this on, going thing.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a CWPA Network remote broadcast of the Winter 2021 MAWPC West Championship Tournament hosted by Mercyhurst University at the Hallman Aquatics Center in Erie, Pennsylvania. I'm Scott Samuel Daber-Weiss. It is time to get you set for our third place game, which will feature in the dark caps 4th seeded Mercyhurst Lakers and in the white caps 3rd seed Mount St. Mary's. And let's tell you who is playing for each team. For the 4th seeded Mercyhurst Lakers in the dark caps, coached by Curtis Robinette. Number 1, Nash Greven. Number 2, Michael Gutman. Number 4, Alexa Vukarovic. Number 5, Joel Parnell. Number 6, Dylan Schaefer. Number 7, Nicholas Miller. Number 8, Tegan Thomas. Number 9, Matthew Davis. Number 10 or number 20, Derek Kagan. Number 11, Brennan Cumby. Number 12, Reed Burden. Number 13, Benjamin Villarreal. Number 14, Luke Tanner. And number 17, Connor Cross Duncan. Mercyhurst is 3-4 on the season. And now we're going to pan over to Mount St. Mary's, coached by Alyssa Diacono. Number 1 in white, Marco Kruska. 1A, Joseph Maxon. Number 2, Brock Cudahy. Number 4, Will Twizzle. Number 5, Jason O'Donnell. Number 6, Matthew Schwenk. Number 8, Eli Fallos. Number 9, Ben Dable. Number 11, Casper Seiplick. And number 14, Jason Fitch. Mountaineers are the 3 seed from Emmitsburg, Maryland, with a record of 4-4. The officials for this tournament: Andre St. Omer Roy, Igor Mernenko, Jason Grubb, Elijah Fillers. Fans, if you would like to find out where you can get the roster for this tournament, go to collegiatewaterpolo.org, click on Schedules, men's varsity schedules, MAWPC West, and if you go to MAWPC West, up top you'll see a tab for MAWPC West Championship Program, where you can get a PDF file of the Winter 2021 Mid-Atlantic Water Polo Conference Championship Program. Those of you wondering about awards ceremony coverage, we plan on doing photos later on and posting it to the CWPA YouTube channel. The 4th seed in Mercyhurst in dark, 3 seed Mount St. Mary's in white. Mercyhurst 1-1 in bracket A. Mount St. Mary's 1-1 in bracket B. Mercyhurst a 17-12 win over 5th seeded Washington and Jefferson. That took a defeat to top seeded McKendree by a score of 15-9. Mount St. Mary's, the 3 seed, defeated 6-seeded Salem 15-10 in game number 4. And in game number 6 last night, lost 16-9. The 2nd seed Gannon. The 5th place finisher this season, Salem University, which defeated 5 seed Washington and Jefferson in the 5th place game 25-24. The 49 combined goals is an MAWPC West Championship Tournament record. Might also be a record for both schools for most combined goals in a game. In CWPA news to pass along, United States Naval Academy canceled its game today due to health and safety concerns. The winner, the top two finishers from this tournament, the MAWPC West Championship, are tentatively scheduled to participate in next weekend's MAWPC Championship against the 6 MAWPC East schools at the United States Naval Academy. Again, conditions are permitting. Since Mercyhurst is the host institution in this tournament, the Lakers, even though the 4 seed, would wear the dark caps. Mercyhurst and Mount St. Mary's faced off against each other once this season. That was back on February 6th at Mount St. Mary's. Mount defeating the Lakers 10-7. That marked the Mount's first victory in program history. For those of you wondering, I'm calling the action from the Collegiate Water Polo Association office in Bridgeport, Pennsylvania, to be in compliance with health and safety protocols. Safety is one of our top priorities for this season. Now for this 3rd place game, we plan on bringing you the 1st place game at around 1:30 p.m. Eastern, which would feature top-seeded McKendree and 2-seed Gannon. It would be a rematch of the 2019 title tilt contest, in which then top-seed Gannon came up with the win over the Bearcats 15-14 in overtime. So now we're just waiting to get back in the water, as we have announced the rosters. Mercyhurst in 2019 was the number 4 seed as well, finished in 4th place. This is the 3rd time the Lakers are the number 4 seed. Best finish was title winner in the inaugural MAWPC West tournament in 2016. Teams will now be lining up. Curtis Robinette is in his 19th year for Mercyhurst. Alyssa Diacono is the head coach for Mount St. Mary's. Mount St. Mary's in white would be heading right to left. Mercyhurst in dark, left to right. Mount St. Mary's is led by Jason O'Donnell, who has 45 goals this season. It'll be won by the Mount, heading right to left. Mount St. Mary's defeated Salem and lost to Gannon in bracket B play. Mercyhurst defeated Washington and Jefferson and lost to McKendree in bracket A play. Now 10 on the shot clock. There's O'Donnell. 2 seconds left. We'll take the shot off. That'll be a shot clock violation. Another good start for the Mount of Emmitsburg, Maryland. Now we'll see Mercyhurst heading left to right in dark. Now we'll take it up top, and Marko Kruska denies it. The junior from Serbia. And out of play, so a 2-meter for Mercyhurst. In Mercyhurst's 2 games yesterday, Matthew Davis had 11 combined goals, including 9 in a 17-12 victory over Washington and Jefferson. That's right, 9. Backhanded, and Kruska gets his right arm on it. Marko Kruska, believed to have scored the first goal in Mount St. Mary's history. Came in a 26-5 loss to Gannon on January 23rd. He has 5 goals as a player. He also is in the field. But right now he is in the cage. And taken aback by Brennan Cumby, the freshman from Grand Blanc, Michigan. Mercyhurst dribbling left to right. Up at the point. Mercyhurst with a couple shots on goal so far. Just one for the Mount. Mercyhurst will retain possession. Mercyhurst again the 4 seed in the dark cap since it's the host. Ordinary foul caused by O'Donnell. There's Luke Tanner. Shot is out of play. Ball throw for Kruska. In the Mount's 2 previous games, he had 15 and 9 goals. Mount coming in averaging 11.8 a game, giving up about 14 or 15. Ordinary foul. Mount St. Mary's has it back. We'll take it up to the half-distance area. Now to the point. An ordinary foul. And we'll have it picked off. Now ahead. Ordinary foul. Very close to a ball under though. Now the fake. He'll set up. Crossbar denies that one. Kruska picks it up. Couple minutes into the 3rd place game here in Erie. Mercyhurst in dark and Mount in white. Nothing yet. Set up inside. Backhanded. Did not get the twine. Nash Grieven, the goalkeeper, has it. The junior from California. The state, California. Now taken from the left flat. Up top for Alexa Vukarovic. How about Marko Kruska, the junior from Belgrade, Serbia. So far 5 shots, none have gone the way of the Lakers. Mercyhurst finished the regular season 2-3. So right now the Lakers are 3-4. Mount St. Mary's is 4-4 and the Mount strikes first, 1-0. How about Jason? Is that Eli Fallows? Eli Fallows beating the keeper. Take a look at Fallows' tally. Look at the arms that were ahead of him. Takes a lot of concentration. Fallows, a transfer from the University of the Pacific. Last school year, Pacific played in the NCAA title game against Stanford and lost 13-8. So Fallows has some championship experience. Now there's Kruska. Ben Dable had the steal. This is the Mount's first season with water polo. Really, there are a lot of more exciting things to come in the years ahead, if this is the type of season the Mount had. Skip shot and bounces in the cage, and Mount St. Mary's leads it 2-0. This time, Jason O'Donnell. That's his 46th goal of the season. And look at that, from the point. Point taken. So with 3:36 to go in the first period of play, it's 3 seed Mount St. Mary's in white 2 and 4 seed Mercyhurst in dark. Nothing yet. Now Mercyhurst will take it, and that's off the crossbar. Mercyhurst entering this contest with 12.4 goals per game, allowing a little over 11 a contest. It will be the first power play of the game, as Mount St. Mary's will be on the 6-on-5. It'll be the motion from the 5. 20 on the shot clock, so 10 left in the power play. And St. Mary's able to hold on. Showing motion, fires past Grieven. Mount St. Mary's right now firing on all cylinders. 3-0. We'll take a look momentarily. Here we go. 1 and 2. Grieven knew where it was coming. Just going to catch up to it. Jason O'Donnell credited with his second. Now the Mount up by 3 in this third place game. And now Gannon. Fires and gets on the board. Look at this. Swivel shot. 3-1 now. Boy, if he blinked, you missed that. And that was on the power play. Joel Parnell credited with the score. Now Nash Grieven. Looking to help his troops regain an edge. There'll be another power play to come for Mercyhurst, with under 2 minutes to go in the first. Now set up top. Dump inside and to the right corner. Mercyhurst just need to get warmed up. And it's 3-2 Mount St. Mary's. He goes to the left. And right corner it goes, with 1:49 remaining in the first. This will be the last game for both teams. Derek Kagan capitalizes on the 6-on-5. Kagan had 6 goals in 2 games yesterday. Now to the 1 position. Set up to the left flat. 9 on the shot clock. That's going to be a hold, and 6-on-5 for Mount St. Mary's. Mount thought about it. Now we'll take up top. O'Donnell! Now to play. We'll throw for Nash Grieven. So Mercyhurst 2 of 2 on the power play. Mount St. Mary's 1 of 2. O'Donnell's shot wide in the net. O'Donnell entered this weekend shooting above 60%. O'Donnell has 2 goals on 4 shots here. And Mercyhurst draws even. 3-3. Dylan Schaefer getting in on the action. And Kruska this time unable to get any of his hands on that one. Under a minute to play here in our opening period. And Mercyhurst storming back from that early deficit. An ordinary foul. He'll shoot, and to the left side it goes, and Mount St. Mary's back in front, 4-3. Eli Talos credited with his second. Man, that net is getting worn out right now. O'Donnell credited with the assist, so O'Donnell and Fallows with 2 apiece. Kruska picks up the loose change. Shot clock is unplugged. Under 10 seconds left. Now 4 seconds left. And that will do it for the first period of play. It's Mount St. Mary's leading 4-3 over Mercyhurst. Mount, 2 goals from O'Donnell, 2 from Fallows, according to the stat sheet. Parnell, Schaefer, and Kagan was solo tallies for Mercyhurst.
Cap 7 is a small company that started out of the back of our garages, and we were doing clinics and camps around the country. We pride ourselves as a company with Cap 7 and Turbo to sponsor as much and give back to the sport as much as we can. Last year we gave over $250,000 back to the sport, and all our products are built by water polo players and for water polo players.
It's your #1 video source for everything water polo. It's the CWPA YouTube channel. Game of the week, tip of the week, inside water movements, highlights, and more. Visit youtube.com and search CWPA Water Polo. We hope to have some content from this weekend's MAWPC West tournament on the CWPA YouTube channel. So in the first period of play, you see Mercyhurst in the background. Mercyhurst outshot the Mount 10-8. Mount St. Mary's made half of the shots compared to 30% for Mercyhurst, each with 2 exclusions. Mount 1-2 on the power play, Mercyhurst 2-2 on the man advantage. And in terms of saves, Ash Grieven has 1 for Mercyhurst, Marco Kruska has 4 for the Mountaineers. Keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, this is our second to last game of this tournament. After this game, stay tuned for the first place game at around 1:30 p.m. Eastern. The top seeded McKendree and 2 seed Gannon. Gannon the 2 seed for the first time after being the top seed in each of the previous 4 seasons. McKendree defeated Gannon in a regular season matchup back on February 13th in Morgantown, West Virginia, 13-11. In the second quarter, Mount St. Mary's in white, swimming right to left, Mercyhurst in dark, left to right. And the Mount picks it up. So O'Donnell and Fallows credited with 2 goals apiece for Mount St. Mary's. Now from the top, 7 on the shot clock. Ready to take it now. Set ahead. And it looks like it will count. At the buzzer. Look at this. right when the horn sounded and Greven unable to say no, and Casper Seiplick, number 11, gets on the board. Freshman from Beaconsfield, Quebec. It's also where Jason O'Donnell's from. Skip shot. Kruska denies. Loose ball. But it will remain with the Lakers. Mercyhurst, last season 4th place finisher, would like to finish in 3rd this time around. Also, Mount St. Mary's is 1-0 all time against the Lakers. So 10 on the shot clock. 4 in the first, 1 in the second for the Mount. 3 now. Skip shot. Went off of Nash Greven, the keeper. So it'll be taken from the 1 on the corner. And a fresh 30 for Alyssa Diakonos' squad. Off the palms, but recovered. Taken from the 1, from the 5 actually. Taken from the flat. Inside 6 meters, 15 on the shot clock, and enemy territory, and picked off by Kagan. Eric Kagan will dribble it. The 5th place game was Salem 25, Washington Jefferson 24. Is that a play? Looks like there was a denial by Kruska, so corner to come for Mercyhurst in the dark here at Hallman Aquatics Center in Erie, Pennsylvania. Faking up top. Will fire, batted down with the left hand by Marco Kruska. Kruska being a junior, Diakono would hope he could return for another season. And for a first-year program, Mount's already perhaps ahead of schedule. And that can only help with recruiting. Banged home by the Lakers, and it's a 1-goal game. Take a look here. Taking a couple fakes over the head of Kruska. Michael Gutman getting in on the action for the first time. 5-4 now is your score. And there's a timeout in the pool. With 5:24 remaining in the second. Mount St. Mary's calls a full timeout, so the Mount has 2 full left, 1:30 second. Mercyhurst has all of its timeouts remaining. Make sure to follow us on social media, including Twitter at CWPA Water Polo. As if you do, you'll get all the latest updates on what is happening around the league. Also find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Be sure to check out our YouTube page for tons of great water polo content. It's the last day of February. Nice morning here in Erie, Pennsylvania. Placement game day. In this tournament, we've had 7 games in the books. This is the 8th of 9. 2 of them have been decided by a goal. Haven't had any needing overtime or sudden death yet. Mount St. Mary's hasn't had an overtime game yet. It's an offensive foul. Looks like that might have been a block in the head. Now dribbling Mercyhurst on the attack, heading into Mount territory. Mercyhurst is the 4 seed in dark. Skips past Kruska. And we're knotted up at 5 apiece. Oh boy. That's a danger one. We're going to look at this. Look, there was an open lane. Player trying to attack, and Kruska, wow, wicket hop. Michael Gutman then intertwined for his second score of the game. Also for Gutman, that's his 6th goal of the tournament. Speaking of the tournament, in case you're wondering about tournament honors, we hope to post information on that at a later time on the Collegiate Water Polo Association website, collegiatewaterpolo.org, so stay tuned for that to come at a later time. Dumped in the corner as the Mounts now on another power play opportunity. Grieven is beaten yet again. Mount St. Mary's back up 6-5. So Jason O'Donnell might have another. Actually, it's not O'Donnell on that goal. It's Casper Seiplick for his second. So O'Donnell, Seiplick, and Follows have 2 apiece to lead the Mount. Here in the second. Blocked in the field by the Mount. So for Mount St. Mary's, 4 in the first, 2 in the second. Mercyhurst, 3 in the first, 2 in the second. Mercyhurst has 15 shots on goal compared to 11 by the Mount. And St. Mary's trying to finish in third, which would be the highest finish by a first-year program in MAWPC West history. Trying to take it from long range, and Grieven gets his right hand on it. Looks like Diacono giving instructions on the sideline. Players are allowed to either sit or stand on the bench if they choose to do so. Goalkeepers are also allowed to cross the half distance line. So if you're unsure what to do with the ball, you can go to distance if you choose to. Kruska gets it right in his arm, and on the other end, an exclusion is called. So for 20 seconds, Mount St. Mary's on the 6-on-5 inside Mercyhurst territory. Mountaineers trying to extend the lead even further. Dylan Schaefer called for the exclusion. But that's Jason O'Donnell denting it for the 3rd time. Look at this. Nearly lost the handle. There was a deflection. But no matter. 7-5. Mount St. Mary's with 2:47 to play in the first half. For Jason O'Donnell, that's his 17th goal of the tournament, 3rd of this one. And that gives him 48 for the season. And he is a freshman. 50 goals a season is quite impressive, but in fewer than 10 games, even more impressive. Trying to go with the throw and pounce. Joel Parnell unfortunate that time. 7-5. Mount St. Mary's, the 3 seed in white, over the 4 seed Mercyhurst in dark. Salem's 25-24 win over Washington Jefferson in the 5th place game today. First game in which lower seed won from long range and sizzled out of play. Mount St. Mary's shooting at 53.8%, 29.4% for Mercyhurst. Under 2 minutes left here in the second. Kruska again denying it with his right hand. Now the Mount dribbling right to left and white. Boy, the Mount would like to head back to Emmitsburg, Maryland for 3rd place finish. Deflected out of play with the left hand by Nash Grieven. result in a 2-meter from the 5. Fresh 30 for Mount St. Mary's. Setting up inside, and that's a good feed and a finish for Mount St. Mary's. The Mountaineers now up by 3. We're going to look at this sequence momentarily. As we're going to take a look here, it's Jason O'Donnell. Look at him. Taking another skipper close to the net. That's his 4th of the game. 49 on the season. One more goal, he'll be the first player in Mount St. Mary's history to achieve 50 or more goals in a season. And to do so in 8 games would be even more impressive. Looks like we might have an exclusion called, or a 5-meter. I think Mercyhurst might want to talk it over, as there is an exclusion foul on Mount St. Mary's, and a timeout is called. Got 54 seconds to go in the first half. It's Mount St. Mary's leading 8-5. 4 in the first, 4 in the second. Mercyhurst and Dark, the 4 seed. 3 in the first, 2 in the second. Michael Gutman has 2 to lead Mercyhurst. Parnell, Schaefer, and Kagan have the others for the Lakers. O'Donnell has 4. Thalos and Cyplick with 2 apiece. That is the first of 3 full timeouts taken by Curtis Robinette, the reigning MAWPC West Coach of the Year. I think he's won that honor at the MAWPC West Tournament 3 of the previous 4 years, the exception of 2018, in which Colleen Wishley of McKendree took the honors at the tournament for helping lead the Bearcats to a 13-12 first place game win over Salem University. It will be the power play opportunity for the Lakers. Parnell will be inside, fires off the post. An unfortunate sequence of events. Timeout unsuccessful there. There, Kagan had it off the post. This might be the last shot clock possession before it's turned off. Here in the 3rd place game. Picked off in the field by Joel Parnell. And Mercyhurst would like to draw closer. And it's off the post. Mercyhurst, each of the previous 2 seasons, lost its final 2 games of the tournament. Lost here would make it 3 years in a row. That happens. And that will do it for the first half of play. 2 quarters. Mount St. Mary's leads it 8-5 in the white over Mercyhurst in the dark. Jason O'Donnell, number 5 in white, believed to lead all scorers with 4 apiece. Fallows and Cyplick 2 apiece for the Mount. Gutman with 2. Parnell, Schaefer, and Kagan with solo tallies for Mercyhurst. Marco Crisco credited with 9 saves. The Lakers' Nash Grieven with 4. And we'll be back for the 3rd quarter here on the CWPA network.
I am Wolf Wago, co-founder of Cap 7. I'm going to talk about the Cap 7 skip ball. It's a great little ball for kids to play with for a number of reasons. It's soft, bounces really well, just a lot of fun. Everyone I've ever given one of these to, random people, not even water polo people, they say it's the best ball. Their kid loves it more than any ball. Get yours at cap7.com today and enjoy your skipping.
Be sure to check out our new CWPA Remote Series, Professional Edition, on the CWPA YouTube channel. We have Olympian George Gross Jr. interviewing water polo alumni from a variety of schools and professions. We take a look at how water polo helped them in college and beyond. New episodes are slated to come out every week on Thursday, so be sure to like and subscribe. Through one half of play in our Winter 2021 MAWPC West Championship Tournament third place game, 3 seed Mount St. Mary's Mountaineers in the white has 8, and Mercyhurst Lakers in the dark, the 4 seed, has 5. Mount scored the first 3 goals in this one, then the Lakers were able to storm back with a couple, but the Mount able to withhold any more damage, as Jason O'Donnell, number 5 in white, the freshman from Beaconsfield, Quebec, leads all scorers with 4 tallies, giving him 49 on the season, and for this weekend, 18. He had 31 in the regular season. And in 6 of our 7 previous games, the top seed had emerged victorious. Should Mount St. Mary's hold on here, that would become 7 of 8 of such instance. The lone exception was the 5th place game, in which 6 seed Salem defeated 5 Washington and Jefferson 25-24. You had a couple players with at least 7 goals in that one. Incredible. There were at least 3 players with 6 or more, combining each of those teams. Again, make sure to follow us on social media at CWPA Water Polo. Don't forget to check us out online at collegiatewaterpolo.org. Make sure you check out the varsity schedules if you go to collegiatewaterpolo.org and go to MAWPC West for this season. There's a tab on the schedule that should have championship program, and you'll be able to view rosters on this year's championship program for this tournament. 8-5 Mount St. Mary's over Mercyhurst, and following the conclusion of this game, we'll rest up and get ready for 1:30 p.m. Eastern as top-seeded McKendree Bearcats of Lebanon, Illinois, will go 6-on-6 against 2 seed and defending MAWPC West champ Gannon. It'll be the first time Gannon would play a championship as the 2 seed. Gannon's previous 2 titles back in 2017 and 2019 had been the 1 seed. This is the 5th season of MAWPC West. Gannon in each of the previous 4 had been the top seed, but McKendree on February 13th picked up a 13-11 victory over the Gannon Golden Knights at Milan Park in Morgantown, West Virginia. First time Gannon lost a regular season MAWPC West game, snapped a 29-game regular season win streak. Teams are going to stay in the same ends as they had before. So Mount St. Mary's in the white will swim right to left. Mercyhurst in the dark as the host institution, left to right. These institutions also have women's varsity programs, and those programs are eager to get in the water in the next few weeks. We're not accustomed to men's and women's seasons being so close to each other, but due to the extraordinary circumstances this academic year, have to be flexible. Now the ball drop for the 3rd quarter sprint. It's O'Donnell winning it for the Mount. Lisa Diacono, the head coach for the Mount, for 150 goals, I believe, in her collegiate career for San Diego State, helping her team win a few conference titles. Each of the last 2 years, Diacono was actually a grad assistant for Mercyhurst, and Mount St. Mary's is still not done yet. It's now 9-5. That is brilliant. Will Twizzle, the grad from Adelaide, Australia, getting his second goal of the tournament. It's now 9-5 Mount. You're in the third quarter of play. Now Mount St. Mary's trying to get double figures here. Mercyhurst has conceded double figures in each of the previous 2 games in this tournament. Ten on the shot clock, now taken from the point, will fire. It was past Grieven, but it was fortunate it was off the post. So the crossbar denial saves Grieven from any further damage. There's about 6 or so minutes left in the third. Mercyhurst down 4, heading left to right and dark. Mercyhurst trying to finish in third. Mercyhurst has never finished in third. First in 2016, second in 2017. Each of the last 2 years, 4th place. The Lakers now having to go back on defense on its end. Set up for the hole. O'Donnell backhanded. Had the space, but wide left. Goal throw for Nash Grieven. Grieven, as a freshman in 2018, had some Defensive Player of the Week rookie honors. 1 point. There was a heavy skip right into the arm of Marco Kruska. Kruska now at the outlet for the Mount, heading right to the left. In white, up 9-5. Looks like it's going to be a 5-meter free throw to come for Mount. And Eli Thalos might be the one taking it. Thalos, the junior out of Salt Lake City area, Utah. And it is secured by Grieven. Eli Thalos had drawn that foul by Brennan Cumby, but Grieven made sure that nothing else would take place. That was actually Jason O'Donnell who missed on the penalty opportunity. About 5 minutes to play here in the third. Mount looking to extend its edge. Under 10 on the shot clock, but turns it over to the Lakers. And there is a whistle there. Laid away the loss to McKendree yesterday, 15-9 by Mercyhurst, snapped a string of 5 games in which the Lakers had scored double figures. Kendry, meanwhile, has scored double figures in 26 straight games. We'll see if Gannon can end that trend in the first place game. And meanwhile, it will be an opportunity here for the Lakers. Can't cash in on the power play. And now, breakaway perhaps for the Mount. Ordinary foul called on the Lakers. Being very methodical here. Set for the hole and beats Grieven. It's 10-5 now. How about Ben Dable getting his first score of the game? Look at that. Had it all to himself. Right over the shoulder of Nash Grieven. That was with some help from Casper Seiplet. And we are at the Prep and Villa Center. David and Hallman Aquatics Center in Erie, Pennsylvania, for the Winter 2021 MAWPC West Championship Tournament. Scott Samuel Weiss here on CWPA TV.com. Mount St. Mary's 4 in the first, 4 in the second, 2 in the third. Skipped out of play. Mercyhurst 3 in the first, 2 in the second, none so far in the third. Mercyhurst at this point on the verge of a third straight 4th place finish. Mount St. Mary's at this point can be pleased with how it has performed this season. After starting off with a 26-5 loss to Gannon on January 23rd in Morgantown, West Virginia, Mount has grown a lot since then. There's Marco Kruska picking up the loose change. Now 15 on the shot clock here. Thinking about it, drawing attention, but couldn't deliver. Now Grieven on the outlet. For Grieven, you had Andrew Tuafu, who in 2016 had been the MAWPC West Tournament MVP. Grieven has been stout in the cage as well. Curtis Robinette has to be pleased that he's able to have some sustainability defending the pipes. Jason O'Donnell, by the way, a few weeks ago had been named MAWPC Rookie of the Week. Maybe eventually, should circumstances permit, O'Donnell could earn MAWPC Player of the Week honors at some point down the road. With 4 seconds left, we'll take the shot there. Had Grieven beaten, though, but not in the right location. Mercyhurst with 25 shots compared to 22 for the Mount. Off the post. Just fortunate to make the security. And I wonder if we have a timeout. And we do. Mount St. Mary's calls its second of 3 timeouts. Minute 59 to play here in the third. Mount St. Mary's, the 3 seed in the white 10. Mercyhurst, 4 seed in the dark 5. Mount 3 of 4 on the power play. Mercyhurst 2 and 4 in the man advantage. 1 penalty foul by Hurst. It was missed by Jason O'Donnell. O'Donnell with 4 goals in the game to lead the Mount. Eli Thalos, Casper Seiplick also have a pair of goals. Ben Dable and Will Twizzle have solo tallies for the Mountaineers. Mercyhurst, a pair from Michael Gutman and solo tallies from Joel Parnell, Dylan Schaefer, and Derek Kagan. In a couple weeks' time, the NCAA Men's Water Polo Tournament is scheduled to take place. In a few weekends, I believe, championship tournament scheduled to take place at University of Southern California. Initially slated to take place at Stanford, but due to health and safety concerns, got moved to USC. 2 teams would automatically go down to USC, and 4 teams will battle for those final 2 spots in play-in games, opening round games. Last year, Bucknell of MAWPC East, the MAWPC champ last year, defeated previously unbeaten Harvard in the opening round. Harvard of the Northeast Water Polo Conference, not participating this season. Picked off by Mercyhurst, got options ahead. 1-on-1 and beats Kruska. A much necessary boost by Schaefer. It's 10-6 now. That's Schaefer's second tally. And that actually had somewhat of a deflection Now the Mount looking to stop another run. In the process, a kick out by Mercyhurst will get the Mount a fresh 30 in a power play. The goal was credited to Schaefer for his second. So 10-6. Still not a large margin to feel comfortable. We'll slip it back. Another dry pass. A couple of dry passes here. Casper Seiplik denied and now secured by Nash Grieven with under a minute to play in the third. 10-6 in favor of 3 seed Mount St. Mary's in white. They were 4 seed Mercyhurst, the host in dark. 3 in the first, 2 in the second, 1 in the third for Hurst. 4 in the first, 4 in the second, 2 in the third for the Mount. Now we'll take it from here, but out of play. Shot clock unplugged. Kruska. If he wants to, he can cross the half-distance area. Punches ahead. Set for the hole. But unfortunate that time. Grieven looking at the clock. And that will do it for our third quarter of play. 2-1 scoring run in the third for the Mount. And things are a little interesting now. It had been an 8-5 game at halftime. It's still a lead for the Mount, but Mercyhurst isn't done yet. Will 8 minutes be enough to decide a winner, though?
Hi, I'm Wolf Weigo. Do you want to improve your game? Everyone should have a Cap 7 ball to improve their ball handling skills. If you really want to improve your game, you've got to have a couple water polo balls in your house. Everywhere I go, I'm kicking around the ball, spinning it in my fingers, playing with it, kicking it. It's a lot of fun. Get one and take your ball handling skills to a new level.
You're watching the CWPA broadcast brought to you by Cap 7.
Hi, I'm Wolf Weiger with Cap 7. There's one more quarter to go in this game. Fourth quarter coming up now.
Eight minutes separate Mount St. Mary's from finishing in third place to conclude its inaugural season. 10-6 in favor of the Mountaineers over the Mercyhurst Lakers, the host institution of this tournament. Well, we've had a lot of goals scored not only this season but in this tournament. In our previous game, the fifth place game at 9 a.m. Eastern today between Salem and Washington Jefferson, there were 49 combined goals, 25-24. Keep in mind there were 32 minutes in a game. Mount St. Mary's in white will keep going right to left, and Mercyhurst will continue left to right in dark. Now we'll have our fourth quarter sprint, controlled by Jason O'Donnell. And Mount St. Mary's. Mount here might not want to waste too much time off the clock, as Mercyhurst is ready to blitz. Now 10 on the shot clock. Maybe want to take it from long range. Thought about it, set it up, lost the handle, shot clock violation. Not sure if that's what the Mount had in mind. Opens the door for Mercyhurst. 3 in the first, 2 in the second, 1 in the third. The Lakers. And that will go out of play. We'll throw for the Mount. And in the regular season, the fourth quarter had been Mercyhurst's most explosive quarter on offense. So you got to watch out for Mercyhurst. Meanwhile, Mount St. Mary's also usually the best quarter of the game. Fourth quarter is when both of these teams are more focused. So which one is the one that has a better plan? 7 on the shot clock, fires. Kruska was right there. And when thinking about all tournament team, Kruska might need to get some consideration for the goalkeeper spots. Backhanded and fired through. Mount up 11-6 now. Jason O'Donnell. And how about this? With the actually it was a little bit of a sider. And it's now 11-6. Jason O'Donnell collects his 50th goal of the season and 5th of the game. The first player in Mount St. Mary's history to eclipse 50 goals in the season. Skip shot and a bang for Mercyhurst. Now 11-7. Derek Kagan. Take a look at Kagan's tally on the assist there. Past Kruska. For Kagan, that's his second of the game. 4-goal difference. Mount getting pressured. Under 6 minutes to play here. And there's another turnover. Over Mercyhurst, limit damage, and just keep firing away. Now with the half distance area. In the regular season meeting, Mount St. Mary's defeated Mercyhurst in Emmitsburg 10-7. Mercyhurst scored only once in the fourth. And the Mount got a couple to put it out of reach with limited time left. Now taken from the left flat. Trying to set up. Oh, that's an offensive foul. Incidental contact. We'll see if that leads to better things for the Lakers. Under 5 minutes or so left in this one. Now be taken by the Mount. In each of the previous 3 MAWPC West Championship tournaments, there had been at least one game that had gone to overtime. None so far, and that's going to be a hold. Easy call for the officials. So a 5-meter penalty shot be awarded here to the Lakers. Will take it and denied. Marco Kruska coming up with a stop again. Off the post. 11-7 now. Mount St. Mary's in white. Mercyhurst in dark. The 4 seed heading now left to right. And their kick out will give Mercyhurst a power play. Now we'll set up to the right side. It's Alexa Lugarovic from Novi Sad, Serbia. Thinking about it, we'll take it right into the arms. Read perfectly by Kruska. Kudahi Matthew Schwenk have a pair of exclusion fouls for the Mount, so you got to be careful. There are also 2 players from Mercyhurst also, with 2 apiece in terms of exclusions. Because if you get a third, your game is done. Jason O'Donnell, number 5 in white, 5 goals on 11 shots. Skipped and banged home. Mercyhurst crawling closer. So here is Bukarovic with a nice touch and shot. 11-8 with 3:09 to go. This game is not over by any means as Brandon Cumby finds the net for the first time. And we got a timeout for Mount St. Mary's. That would be the last full timeout. Mercyhurst still has 2 full timeouts, already used its 32nd. So with 3:09, still a lot left on the table to be discussed. Again, this is the 3rd place game. One of these 2 teams will clinch 3rd, the other will come in 4th. And following the conclusion of this game, we'll have a little break. And at around 1:30 p.m. Eastern, that is the scheduled tip for the 1st place game between top-seeded McHenry and 2nd seed Gannon. McHenry 6-0 on the season. Gannon 7-1. Gannon is the defending champ. In the previous 4 seasons of this tournament, no team has ever repeated, so we'll see if history can be made for Shane Unger's squad. Colleen Wishley's Bearcats hoping to get gold for the 2nd time in 3 seasons. Now up top, Mount St. Mary's in white out of the timeout, set up inside. Grieven was beat, but off the post. Now Mercyhurst, under 3 minutes to go. We'll call a timeout. Curtis Robinette using it wisely, as he realizes that right now, 2:45 remaining. You're going to have to score a couple in less than a minute. CWPA has a podcast, PoloCast. We take a deep dive into some of the most prominent people of water polo. We talk about the sport of water polo and about their lives, who they are, and how they got there. With host George Gross Jr., new episodes are scheduled to be released twice a month. Be sure to check out PoloCast, available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you go to get your podcasts. Be sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss an episode. George Gross Jr. in years past might be the one announcing the MAWPC West Championship Tournament due to health and safety protocols. We have limited personnel here. No on-site announcing. This is being done remotely. I'd like to thank Stretch Internet for allowing us to stream on the internet. I'd also like to thank Cap 7, built by water polo players, for water polo players, and the Collegiate Water Polo Association. CWPA remote streaming program began in the fall of 2016. We're glad it's still here. Now Derek Kagan, out of the timeout, has a couple goals. Set up to the left flat. Trying to get a floater right into the hand of Kruska. It's one he wants back. Here come the Mountaineers in white, heading right to left in white. trying to get a field block. Approaching close to 2 minutes in this one. Had a fake. Trying to fire off the crossbar. Play will continue. Now Mercyhurst looking to go quickly. And turned over. Open water here unless Greven can get it. Greven gets it. Mercyhurst with an opportunity to get even closer. Down 3, 11-8. 3 in the first, 2 in the second, 1 in the third, 2 in the fourth, 3 in the fourth. Mercyhurst not done yet. It's 11-9 now. Take a look at this. Able to get the feed. And goes full throttle. Goal credited to Brennan Cumby. That's his second of the game. Mercyhurst, 9 goals now on 37 shots. That's 243 clip. 11 goals on 30 for the Mount. Each team with 6 exclusions apiece. No one has been excluded out of the game. Do have a few players with 2 exclusions apiece. So 11-9 here in favor of 3 seed Mount St. Mary's, looking to finish the season in 3rd place. Its inaugural season with varsity. And there'll be an exclusion opportunity, and scores! Hang on, folks. What had been a 4-goal deficit is down to 1, 11-10. And that's a quick flourish. My goodness. $11-10 now. Shot clock is still plugged in. And that was Keegan Thomas with his first goal on the power play. 11-10. Takes a shot off of Greven. Shot clock resets. Under a minute left. Another ordinary foul. Mercyhurst has 1 full timeout left. Does not have a 30-second timeout. So you would think if you're Curtis Robinette, you would call timeout if there's a stop here. Shot clock really winding down here. Takes the shot out of play. And just as I mentioned, Curtis Robinette will use the final full timeout for Mercyhurst. That is a smart decision for him. And it's 11-10 in favor of Mount St. Mary's. Mount St. Mary's scored the first 3 in this one. Mercyhurst able to come back. To get within range, but Mount able to pull away then. It was 4-3 Mount St. Mary's after 1. 8-5 the Mount at halftime. 10-6 in favor of the Mount after 3. Yes, so Mount St. Mary's started the game on a 3-0 run, then Mercyhurst got 3 unanswered to tie it up. With Mercyhurst trying to look for its first lead of the game. There's 9 seconds left. In each of the previous 3 MAWPC West tournaments, we've had at least 1 overtime game. Can we make it 4 straight with an extra session game? We've already had 1 game today that ended the 1-goal difference. 6-seeded Salem getting the best out of Washington and Jefferson, really taking their best shot, 25-24 in the 5th place game. This is one shot. You can't blow it. 9 seconds left in regulation here in the third place game. Mercyhurst will hurl the pearl out of play. And as long as Kruska is able to be smart on the play, Mount St. Mary's will end its first season in third place. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of the game. Mount St. Mary's wins